everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Shneer and this is Talking Crime. On this channel, I do crime videos and also reaction videos. So you guys, if you like either of the two, don't forget to like, comment, and definitely subscribe to this channel. On today's video, it's a reaction video. And listen to this story, y'all. Crazy. But listen to this story. Karma comes back on you sometimes faster than you think. But let's listen to this story.
Story time on how my mother-in-law demanded that I get a DNA test for my child. Over the holiday season and all of our parties and stuff, my husband and I were having a conversation one night here at the house about how my child looks so much more like him than he does me, but yet I'm the one who spit him out. So as we're sitting there having this conversation, my mother-in-law happens to walk into the room and overhear our conversation and doesn't really say a whole bunch of nothing and just kind of looks at me and my husband like we're literally flies on a wall. My husband and I are giggling and laughing and having a lot of fun because we talk about this often, because who doesn't want to think their child looks like them? I mean, being a parent sometimes is one of your proudest moments. So we continue our conversation, and all of a sudden my mother-in-law, who was not even involved in the conversation at all, decides to speak up and goes, well, you know what? I'm suggesting that there be a DNA test done. Now, mind you, I've only been with two people in my entire life. One with having my first kid, and the other one with having my second kid. Now, here's the whole dealio with this whole thing. I've known my husband since we were children, and, well, I would say teenagers, and all of a sudden, my mother-in-law is questioning whether or not her grandchild is hers.
And 9 times out of 10, she been questioning and really trying not to say nothing.
But not the other one. So you guys know I'm really petty, and I decided to speak up because there was some allegations that my husband had told me when we first got together about how there was some discrepancies on who his actual dad was and some things that his mom did when he was coming up and when he was younger. And so nobody ever questioned paternity back in those days, really. Like, I mean, if you're the dad, you take care of the child, right? So no one ever questioned, and he never really questioned who his dad was. So I got tired of all the drama, and I got tired of always being told, hey, this child doesn't look like you, or whatever, telling my husband he doesn't look like my husband. And I finally just broke. I couldn't keep it in anymore. And at the top of my lungs, I was just like, you know what? If you want a DNA test, you pay for it. And while we're at it, you need to have a DNA test done on my husband to see who's actually his dad. Needless to say, that didn't go over so well with our whole entire family sitting there. And I'm not talking about that it was just me, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my husband. I'm talking about brothers, sisters, aunts, cousins. The whole family was there, if you get what I'm saying. And the room immediately went silent. And let me say this before any of you guys get your panties in a wad. Yes, the looks that everybody was giving each other, it was like they all knew something that I didn't know. And it's weird because I've been with my husband for 10 years. Needless to say, my husband actually left after I made that comment because nobody's ever brought it up. And because I brought it up, now apparently I'm the bad guy. It was literally to the point that my husband told me after all this happened and everything settled down and his mom left and everybody kind of left our house, he called me that night, pretty much told me that he was staying at his mom's for the night and that we would have a conversation in the morning. Well, once that conversation happened, my husband told me that he never thought in a million years that I would bring this up, much less at a family function, and that he was so disappointed in me that he didn't even know that I had this side of me, and he didn't even know at this point if he wanted to be married to me anymore. And
Okay, but it was okay for your mother to blurt out in front of the whole family being like funny to embarrass your wife, but oh, now you confused about who your wife is after she got tired of being poked so many times. It's only so many times a person can be poked before they just start talking motherfucking shit. And obviously somebody need to say it because everybody else already knew.
And of course, that blew my mind. My husband and I really have never had a bad relationship per se. We've always been pretty open with each other. We have a very healthy relationship. So when he said this, it was definitely by surprise that he would say something like this to me. And all I could think about was, this is his mom putting shit into his head. Also, as a side note, before I go any further, his mom did have a questionable past at the time or before she had my husband, and that's okay. She used to be in the adult entertainment industry and has been known to get around town, if you will, in our small little hometown. That's just the backstory. Anyway, so my husband and I have this conversation. He eventually apologized and said that he shouldn't have said that because he definitely doesn't want a divorce, but he couldn't believe that I actually questioned who his dad was or questioned his mom like that. Why would you not? Because in my opinion, and I've never told my husband this until this conversation came out, he looks nothing like his dad. He actually looks like his uncle, which is his dad's brother. So I finally agreed that if everybody sat down together, that I would keep my cool and I would definitely let his mom speak her side of the story, and we would have a sit down powwow, which we did. And needless to say, that didn't go well either. Well,
messy, Hetty, messy.
It didn't go well until actually my husband stepped in and pretty much was like, we're not going to do this. We're a family. We need to get past this, which I do agree because, you know, I kind of want to know too, but I'm kind of at this aha moment where I want to rub it in her face.
Right.
So we have the
oh my God. Like, I just don't know what to say. This story is crazy.
Conversation, and she did apologize to me, although I really didn't say much during this whole conversation after I was just in agreement to go ahead and do the DNA test as long as she paid for it. So we wound up a couple weeks later doing the DNA test, and obviously the child came back as my husband's, and she refused to talk to me or apologize to me or even my husband for a month after that, which is now where we're at. And that's not even the best part. The best part is that we also got my husband's DNA test back, and guess what? I was right. His dad, who he thought was his dad his whole life, is not his dad. And I do feel a little bit crappy about it, but my husband was kind of like, you know what? I've kind of known because me and my dad obviously do not look alike, but at the same time, he's my dad, like things happen, whatever, I moved is what it is. And I agree, like, if he's not bothered by it, then I guess I don't have a right to be bothered by it. It's always funny though, because people usually that have an issue are usually the people that bark first, you know, just for future reference for you guys. If they bark first and they bark the loudest, they're usually the one with the problem. So anyway, we have this conversation, and my mother-in-law finally gets her answers, and she doesn't apologize. She doesn't want to because she knew she was wrong, and now her little dirty secrets have been found out. So now, like, our whole family has, like I said, a bunch of drama. And of course, she was like, yeah, we'll take the DNA test. Like, he's his dad. Like, I have nothing to hide. Like, da-da-da-da. And of course, your girl got the last laugh. So needless to say, now we're at this place where do we actually continue to involve our mother-in-law, or kind of where do we go from here? Because toxicity is toxicity. It doesn't matter who it comes from. And quite frankly, I'm a little upset because now I have to explain to my kids, well, you know, why she's not coming around anymore. And honestly, I think I would want to hide my face too after I made those type of allegations against my son, my daughter-in-law, and my grandkids. Now their grandkids think that she didn't want them, or at least the one, because the other one isn't hers. But now family gatherings and holidays are going to be an absolute blast because, you know, she's going to show up there. And of course, like all toxic mother-in-laws, she's not the problem. So I don't know what to do in this situation. I think that we are probably going to go no contact with my mother-in-law. But then again, I don't want to be the reason why my husband hates me. But I will say that my husband has been super, super supportive since this whole situation started. And he's been on my side, as he should. I'm his wife. But I think more importantly that he was just stunned and hurt by the whole thing. So we'll see how everything plans out with our family. But in the meantime, if you didn't know this is not my story. This was a story submitted to me a while back on my last channel before it got banated before November. And I was supposed to tell it to you guys. So if you guys like this story and you like story times like this, please make sure you follow along. If you would like to submit your stories and let me tell them from my point of view, all you have to do is email me at thebombburnettpodcast@gmail.com and I will get them. You can find that email right in the link in my bio. I love you guys. Have have a beautiful day.
Oh my God, y'all. First of all, let's give her a round of applause. Henny, the whole time I thought it was your story. Like, you did that one because the whole time, like, I thought this was literally your story into the end. Now, that mother in law, just messy Betty. Like, you so messy. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I think that that mother-in-law should apologize. I mean, she had a right to be curious because baby, she had pulled that move too before. So she should at least apologize to the daughter-in-law. But also, I kind of feel like, I don't know, like the daughter-in-law may need to apologize to her too. But then that's kind of like, you did the same thing. So if they both apologize to each other, it'll make the husband more comfortable when family gatherings come, and it won't just seem so messy or just like nobody wants to be there. So you guys, this story was crazy. And the lady that told this story, which, by the way, again, this is not her story. Her information will be in the description or at the bottom of this video. You guys don't forget to like, comment, and definitely subscribe to this channel. Over here, we talk crime and do reaction videos. Peace.